How's it going YouTube? It's Sean here, back today to give you guys an early look at the upcoming Air Jordan 4 Retro in the Taupe Haze colorway. Though this pair was originally set to drop sometime in January, according to sneaker blogs, they've been pushed back to February 27th. They're set for a retail price of $200 or $265 here in Canada, and the official colorway for this shoe is Taupe Haze, Off-White, Oil Gray, and Infrared 23. So there's been quite a bit of buzz surrounding this shoe in the sneaker community, and the main reason for that is because of its similarities to the Friends and Family edition of the Travis Scott Air Jordan 4. So the majority of us are never going to get our hands on that pair, so this one is probably going to be the closest we'll ever get. But even pushing aside all the comparisons to the Travis Scott 4s, this shoe for what it is actually a very clean colorway. So before we take a closer look at the shoes, here's a look at the box. And unlike your traditional Air Jordan 4s, these do come in a special edition box. So I don't know if that's a hint that these are going to be maybe somewhat of a more limited release than your normal Jordan 4, but fingers crossed it's not going to be that limited. Hopefully everyone that wants a pair is able to get them. So as you can see, the box comes in that same Taupe Haze color. We have this sort of speckle paint found throughout. And at the very top, we have this flight branding with this Jumpman logo in this infrared color. And then the inside of the box is also colored in that same bright infrared color too. As for the shoes, so the silhouette itself, this is your classic Air Jordan 4. As we take a look at the toe box, so the base layer of the sneaker, this is covered in this premium Taupe Haze colored suede. I gotta say the suede on this pair was actually pretty impressive. It had a decent softness to it, and if you brush your fingers across it back and forth, the quality was pretty decent and I was pretty happy about this part. Wrapping around the front edge of the toe box and running across about midway down the length of the shoe, this is covered in this cracked leather finish. Moving towards the center of the shoe, so the lace crowns on the bottom and the top, this is done in this black colored TPU, and then the material in between this area, again this is done in that same cracked leather. Beneath the two lace crowns, here we have the signature netting, which is done in this Taupe Haze color with an underlying layer of black underneath. Moving further back, we have your standard Air Jordan 4 wing. This is done in this matte black TPU finish, and then you'll see that the material surrounding the back of the shoe, the top portion is done in that cracked leather, and then the bottom is covered in suede. On the back of the shoe, we have this black TPU heel tab. Nothing too special about this part, but there's a Taupe Haze colored Jumpman in the middle. For the laces, so these only come with one pair of laces and they're a flat black colored lace. And then underneath this, we have the tongue. So the bottom half of the tongue, like all your Jordan 4s, this incorporates that same netting that we saw on the sides of the shoe. And then the top of the tongue, this is covered in that cracked leather material, and it features this square patch in the center with a Jumpman logo and flight branding done in a combination of infrared and black. The backside of the tongue is lined in this infrared color textile, and stitched on the center, we have this Air Jordan tag done in upside down fashion. Moving on to the inside of the shoe, the insole is just your standard Air Jordan 4 insole. It's lined in this infrared color at the very top, and it's finished off with a Jumpman stamped on the heel. So the upper of the Air Jordan 4 sits atop your standard midsole, which is constructed out of polyurethane. A small portion of the midsole is painted in black underneath the forefoot, but the back heel, this is entirely done in this white color. We have this cutout underneath the heel which shows you the visible air sole unit that's found within the midsole, and the air unit in this case is left in white. Turning the shoe over to the bottom, here we have your classic Air Jordan 4 outsole. So for the most part, this is done in this black colored rubber. We have this hit of infrared on the forefoot, along with this infrared Jumpman in the center, and it incorporates this herringbone traction pattern. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these Air Jordan 4 Taupe Hazes. In terms of sizing, so I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and for Air Jordan 4s, I wear between a size 10 or a 10.5, depending on the model and the materials used. So for these guys, these are a size 10, and trying them on, I'd say that they do fit in a snug way. So if you're like me and you have wider feet, you might want to go up a half size, especially if that's something you normally do with your Jordan 4s. But if you have narrow or normal width feet, or if you just like more of a snug fit, then you can definitely go true to size. Next up, in terms of comfort, so these guys are actually pretty comfortable on feet as far as an Air Jordan 4 goes. Being honest, the Jordan 4 is a shoe that released back in 1989, so from a tech perspective, it's not going to be the most advanced, but just for casual use, just for a shoe that you're going to be walking around in, it feels pretty good. I don't know if it was the insole, but it felt pretty plush, and especially if you can get the sizing right and not have any chafing issues on your pinky toe, then these are pretty solid comfort-wise. Last but not least, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship on this pair, overall I'd say that this was a pretty solid drop from Jordan Brand. Again, I don't know if this is going to be a GR release or if it's going to be more on the limited side, but the materials definitely felt pretty good, and I'd say that it's a step up from the quality of your normal Jordan GRs. Though I didn't really love this cracked leather material, I gotta say, it didn't really feel cheap at all, and it also had a decent softness to it and like a really worn in, broken in feel, which complemented the feel of the suede perfectly. So with all that out of the way now, let's lace these up and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. The demand on the shoe is pretty high, and now that I have these in hand, I can say that the hype is pretty justified. Again, though I don't totally love this cracked leather look, I do appreciate the fact that it gives some sort of variety from a material standpoint as opposed to just having an all suede Jordan 4. And like I said from the beginning, even if you put aside the comparisons to the Travis Scott Jordan 4s, this colorway by itself is just very clean and it's very wearable. I love the earthy tones of this shoe, and while I don't necessarily really love the infrared shade, it definitely gives the shoe some pop and a little bit more accent color. As of right now that I'm filming this, the resale prices for this pair, they're hovering around, I believe, 500 to 550 Canadian dollars. So hopefully as we inch closer to the actual release date, that price falls and it gets closer to the actual retail price. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Taupe Haze Air Jordan 4. How do you guys feel about this colorway, and is this gonna be a cop or a drop for you? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram at sgo8. Check out my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website as well at seango.ca. So until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoy this early review, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video.